Canada markets itself as the land of the free and a safe haven for LGBT. But is it really? Gender-based violence statistic from Canada.ca reports elevated risk of violence for transgender and gender-diverse people in Canada by 59%. The reality is that for many LGBT who live here, Canada paints a different story, and if you happen to be black and trans, it's far more darker. In the case of a black trans woman known as Jade Osei, affectionately called Storm by her close friends, her life in Toronto was anything but a Disney movie. She would often tell me about the times her father would cruelly beat her for being different from the rest of her brothers and how she constantly lived in fear of him as a child. When she finally transitioned into the woman she always felt she was, she never felt her family truly supported her, often not respecting her chosen name or pronouns. Yet she never let that stop her from staying in contact with her family and trying to maintain a relationship. Jade was a person that desperately wanted to feel loved and always tried to show kindness to any strangers she would meet. I would often say, if you hated Jade in the morning, you would fall in love with her by the afternoon. Many people did love her for her vibrant energy, charm, wit, humor, inner and outer beauty, and confidence. But the world of a black trans woman is so much harsher than many realize. Jade experienced many threats of violence as a trans woman living in a dangerous area of Toronto. But one day the threats became reality when she was brutally attacked while walking home to her apartment by a transphobic as well as racist bigot who had seen her in the area. Bloody and bruised, she reported the assault to the Toronto police, but they couldn't be bothered. She said she felt, far as they were concerned, the man who assaulted her was doing the world a favor. The experience with the police left Jade feeling even more traumatized than the assault. She vowed to never turn to the police for help ever again. Despite her negative experiences, she refused to let the world get the best of her. But unfortunately for her, life had other plans. In 2024, Jade had mentioned she had fallen in love with a man she initially met online. I tried my best to be supportive, but I had an uneasy feeling about him. Regardless, I did my best to be supportive from a distance as she initially seemed happy with him. As time went on, the happy glow from Jade's face began to mysteriously fade. I asked her what was wrong, and she had confessed feeling depressed over her family not accepting her and debating if moving in with her boyfriend was a good idea, but was vague on details. I tried to offer her words of encouragement, telling her things will get better, and Jade did agree, stating she was hopeful for a new job offer she had accepted. It was only a few days later where I received a message that would haunt me forever. She asked if she could come by my place because her boyfriend was going to make her leaving him a nightmare. Regrettably, I was busy with my boyfriend that night, so I asked her to contact a mutual friend of ours to stay with them. Unfortunately, she never did, and I was awoken with horror that Jade had been deleted from this earth at the hands of her boyfriend. The police launched a piss-poor investigation that left her friends and family begging for justice and wanting answers for 2 years about the results of her autopsy and if justice would be served. When the smoke cleared, the man who deleted her was never brought to justice. Her death dismissed as an overdose, despite alarming evidence to the contrary, such as the fact he admitted to lethally injecting her directly in her neck with a needle. Jade's story is only one of many stories of black trans women and trans women of color whose lives have been deemed expendable at the hands of a Eurocentric society built off cis-hetero patriarchy that only cares for trans women when it's convenient to meet a diversity quota. It's our duty as human beings to care for all types of people, no matter their race, gender, sex, or religion, and fight for what is right. Because all our lives have meaning. If you care for what is happening with Black and trans women of color, then advocate for justice for us. Speak out when you see harm being done to a trans woman in the workplace or on the streets. Support community memorial funding for a trans woman deleted from this earth by bigots. Advocate for laws that support us and call out ones that don't. Partner with organizations that support trans people, because if you don't, if you stay silent or indifferent, then you're perpetuating a system that allows violence, discrimination, and impunity to continue. Silence is not neutrality, it's complicity.